Forest, without Stan Bowles, of course, who is cup-tied. He played in an earlier round for Queen's Park Rangers. Ian Bowyer takes his place. And just as important, without Larry Lloyd serving that one-match suspension. And so David Needham comes into the defence to play his 10th game of the season. John McGovern is their captain. As for Wolves, well, they had a scare in the week when Kenny Hibbett had a thigh strain, but Kenny decided he was fit to play, and so Colin Brazier is named as a substitute. Jeff Palmer also felt a twinge of a thigh strain yesterday, but he trained hard, and he's also named in this Wolves side, with Emlyn Hughes, their captain. Get to 3 o'clock. Well, we're on our way now. It's Nottingham Forest, seeking to become the first club to win the Football League Cup for 3 successive seasons. In the red shirts and white shorts, attacking the goal to our right. Wolves, the winners in 1974, in their famous old gold shirts and black shorts. Hibbett, a little header aimed towards Berry, and played back there, and Bradshaw got to come out quickly and was shielded by Emlyn Hughes. And so Paul Bradshaw with the kick. Needham beaten in the air by Andy Gray. Anderson in there, it will only go as far as Hibbett. Both sides had good form earlier in the week. Wolves winning at Villa. And Nottingham Forest beating Spurs 4-0. And Bowyer chasing after that one, but Daniel in there, finding Berry. Peter Daniel again. Hughes. Well, I was about to say that his contribution could be enormous in these opening minutes, calming down this Wolves side with all the experience he's got, but it was Emlyn, in fact, who made a quite elementary mistake, but he recovered quickly enough. Here's Carr for Wolverhampton. Derek Clark in. Played high there, but Kenny Burns cutting that out for Forest. Bowyer for Gray. And back for Shilton. Body, and it's Frank Gray. A little surging run of his own. Taking on Wolves there and finding Gary Burtles. A Forest throw. Robertson now to Gray. Robertson again. This will come for Bowyer. Well, a chest trap that slid away from him, and here's Hibbett. A long ball out here. Oh, and it'll come nonetheless to Richards. It was a dive by Needham that tried to get that ball away. Richards battling, and between them, Needham and Anderson getting away what could have been a really ticklish situation, that for Nottingham Forest. So Bertels and Needham are up there, you'll notice, inside the Wolves 6-yard area as Trevor Francis takes this corner for Nottingham Forest. There is header. Not a lot of distance on it, though. Martin O'Neill trying to make something of it, but fails. And Frank Gray in the end not only makes a clearance, but makes it a very good pass to find Trevor Francis. Needham had stayed up there. Daniel playing it back. Burns. Berry away. High towards Richards. Needham winning that quite comfortably in the air. Hibbett trying to get something. And Hughes had gone for it as well, and they confused each other. Bertels again making one of his strong, aggressive runs. And what a ball played in there for Robertson. Not offside. It must have been precious close. Frank Gray up in support. Robertson again, laying it to him as often as they can. Daniel again, watching him closely. Can Robertson get to that byline? He pulls it back this time for O'Neill. Francis trying to get in there. Half gets a shot in. Emlyn Hughes right in there, and almost, well, could so easily have been an own goal there by the Wolves captain. Hughes really under enormous pressure there. as Francis gets his shot in. And there's Hughes, what a dilemma with three Forest players around him. With the backward header, Burns getting it away. Here's Hibbett though for Carr. Spread wide again, this time for Eves. Parkin. And John Richards is on the far side there. Shilton, not under so much pressure, but Shilton really didn't do as well as you would expect him to do there. And the ball was loose for a fraction of a second there, but here's a little nod on for Birtle by Birtles for O'Neill. Gray back here for Willie Carr. Gray back again for Willie Carr. Now good ball by Carr there. And now a chance for Daniel to take it up. Great burst from the midfield by Peter Daniel, and suddenly it's opened up, but the shot is across the face of that Forest goal and behind. But a beautiful surging run there by the former Hull City man, Peter Daniel. Really aggressive running, really taking them on, and suddenly at this point it opened up with Eves outside him, but Daniel tried the shot himself, and it really hadn't the power or direction. As Wolves get the corner, but Frankie Gray maybe not quite so happy. Oh, and it was little Willie Carr who got that header in after George Berry's back flick at the near post. There's Berry's flick, and there's Willie Carr's little header. Now we have Martin O'Neill to Viv Anderson. Here's Trevor Francis. Played in quickly there towards Birtles, but quicker still was Berry. Richards trying to play it wide there for Andy Gray. Wolves felt there was a foul there, but the referee didn't want to know. Bowyer, Birtles, Robertson, Gray. Sweeping it here for Viv Anderson. O'Neill now playing more on this right-hand side. A little flick in there for Francis. Across the goal there, and it needed just a touch in by Birtles, and it was of all people Emlyn Hughes who was caught out by that burst of activity, and how brilliant it was by Trevor Francis. The little flick there by O'Neill, and suddenly Francis has outwitted Emlyn Hughes, and Birtles couldn't find the Farmer, Andy Gray rather, and Francis. Well, he was half stopped there by Hibbert, and he wasn't very happy with it. Willie Carr playing it in there. Needham's header. And a throw. Oh, McGovern. Forest working a bit of space for themselves there, and McGovern making very good use of it. Played into there by McGovern for Birtles. Francis through the middle, taking that ball nicely in his stride, but forced away by Palmer. But nonetheless, there's McGovern with the shot! And behind for the corner. Bradshaw looking pleased with that little bit of activity. And in fact, it came off Berry from McGovern's shot. So Bradshaw now faced with this corner from Trevor Francis. And fisting it just with one fist away. It'll come from McGovern again, and that might go anywhere. Birtles, and again the Wolves' defence was equal to it. And this time there's a foul by Peter Daniel on John Robertson. And it could so easily have been the opening goal. That ball was bobbing around there. It might have gone anywhere. And there's Birtles' shot off the keeper as he was falling. Bradshaw with the kick. O'Neill with the header. Francis against Emlyn Hughes. Oh, pulled back, and that's got to be a yellow card for Emlyn Hughes. Free kick. And I tell you what, well, Emlyn's not happy with something that Trevor Francis was doing there, but he deliberately pulled Trevor Francis back. I mean, as we wait for the free kick to be taken, now that could go unpunished. Well, that's beyond me. So Emlyn Hughes may be a little lucky, irrespective of what Trevor Francis may or may not have done leading up to that situation. It's a free kick for Nottingham Forest. O'Neill blasting it through that ball, but right into the arms of Paul Bradshaw. But it's Forest who get the throw. inside the last 2 minutes of the first half now. Robertson. Little right foot cross there towards Martin O'Neill. Couldn't quite get down on the header the way he wanted to. See that little gesture of annoyance there. Well, but now it's Needham. O'Neill. Carr. Hughes. McGovern. O'Neill, a nice little touch there. McGovern, or rather Anderson, knew what was coming and finds Trevor Francis. Oh, and he hit it straight at Mel Eaves in the end, but he was trying to work something a bit special. There was Francis, and it's Willie Carr, though, for Wolves instead. Richards, Gray. McGovern stopping him. Now Bowyer. Made a minute of time added on. As Frank Gray takes it up. There's the half-time whistle. A goalless first half. And a League Cup final splendidly poised. Brian Clough goes off to the dressing room. He said recently that he finds it hard to motivate his team, but certainly Forest have given so much in terms of enthusiasm. Richie Barker going off there as well for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And so away we go with the start of the second half. Wolves in the old gold shirts and black shorts attacking the goal to our right. And the ball back. There's a free kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers, who beat Burnley and Crystal Palace, Queen's Park Rangers, Grimsby and Swindon to get here. Forest, who got past Blackburn, Middlesbrough, Bristol City, West Ham and Liverpool. Forest, in fact, with a more difficult run through to Wembley. And playing their 50th game today, Forest. And a header across the goal there, which could so easily have caught Nottingham Forest out. Mel Eaves, who came late on that far side, I think when Forest were looking more at George Berry than anybody else, but there's Eaves coming in, stooping low there. If one Wolves man could just have got a touch. Palmer playing it forward. Frank Gray getting it away. Here's Hibbett. Now Richards. And Shilton comfortably behind, a not very hard hit shot. Gray winning that in the air from Kenny Burns. But Needham winning it in the air from Richards. But here's Willie Carr. Chance to float another one in. High towards Peter Daniel, who'd gone right in there. It'll come for Hibbett to blast one, but blasted wide into that little posse of photographers there, well wide of the Forest goal. Kenny Hibbett, who scored the first goal for Wolves when they won here in '74. Playing it here for Bertels to stretch his legs. Plays it wide here for Francis. There's so much pace up front for Forest, if only they could use it. And here's Francis now. They're running straight into Palmer and straight into trouble. And here's Daniel now for Wolves. And Andy Gray played onside by David Needham, a 1-against-1 if Gray can do something with it. Allowed to go on there by the referee. Now, can Andy Gray do something here? Played it across. Bowyer, reliable as ever, gets back. And plays it to that other reliable character, always available, John McGovern. A good piece of play, though, by Ian Bowyer. And now here's Forrest setting up the pace with Martin O'Neill. Francis is offside, and that was a lovely piece of play by O'Neill because he realised it and went on his own. In the end, to be brought down, and Wolves have conceded a free kick, or is it? No, they've got one. Hibbett, the long ball, cut out by McGovern. Now Frank Gray again, Robertson outside him. Robertson gets to this byline this time. There's the cross coming in, Needham is there, Bradshaw didn't get a touch. O'Neill turning it back again, Needham with the header just over. Well, that's the nearest anybody's been to scoring today. Bradshaw didn't get a touch there, and not really a positive one. O'Neill kept his head, found a lovely little cross in there. David Needham had gone up and stayed up with a header that was just too high. Hibbett crawling away from the scene of his crash. So about 25 yards out. Willie Carr going to touch the ball, I would think, to Kenny Hibbett, or no, a little chip himself towards Andy Gray, just a little too high for Andy to get what he wanted on it. But it's still with Peter Daniel floating again towards Andy Gray, and again not quite the header he wanted, but Shilton's in trouble. But there was a foul on the keeper. And for all the pressure, yes, he's applauding the referee's decision. But with the greatest respect to this very fine keeper, he's a little out of confidence when things are in the air and he's under pressure. But quite properly, the free kick was given. Now Palmer. Now Gray. A little touch by Birtles. Doesn't find Robertson. Daniel playing it towards Andy Gray. Could be interesting. And this is the goal. Andy Gray has scored it. Needham and Shilton got in a terrible mix. And Andy Gray has the simplest of jobs to put Wolves into the lead. The long ball forward there by Peter Daniel. Should Peter Shilton have come for this one? There you can see the misunderstanding, and what a simple chance for Andy Gray. Nottingham Forest 0, Wolves 1. The scorer is Andy Gray. Only 2 goals in the last 16 games. For my word, he's made one count today. O'Neill. Shrugging off that challenge by Eaves, supported by Francis on the touchline there, played in towards the near post, Berry getting there. Oh, Bartle's playing it back! Well, that was so near to being... Oh, my goodness! Well, Wolves lived with the utmost danger there, and look at the frustration there on Martin O'Neill's face. It looked for sure that suddenly it came out, and Birtles played it there for Martin O'Neill. The shot somehow was charged down, and it came back again. Birtles trying to get it in there, straight though into the arms of Paul Bradshaw. 16 minutes to go. David Needham coming up again. His mix-up with Peter Shilton being the cause of Forest being a goal down. Now Needham's going to try and put that right. Birtles with a little back heel. Birtles again, but straight into the arms of Bradshaw. Well, certainly Paul Bradshaw has not had any really spectacular saves to make, but his positioning has been absolutely first class. But here's Hibbett for Wolves, and outside him Peter Daniel taking it towards the byline, and that's a good cross as well, but it's still in play. Richards playing it back again for Willie Carr, looking to get to the byline again, gets a corner instead. Hibbett with the corner. George Berry with the backward flick. Did that hit the post or what? Willie Carr, that certainly hit Viv Anderson. And a chance now for a breakaway for Forest, led by the speed of Trevor Francis. George Berry is after him, and Francis going on well, but couldn't quite get it to Martin O'Neill. So Parkin just darted in there and saved the situation for Wolves. Played wide for Parkin, a nice move that, and Parkin with room to get a shot in, and a deflection that in fact falls Forest's way. And Frank Gray now setting up another challenge. Birtles away on the left, Francis away on the right. Bertels, oh, the ball passed poorly there for Robertson. The momentum was lost for a moment, and Wolves have got back in strength. But here's Bowyer. Played for McGovern. And here's Robertson. The little cross coming in. Anderson was right in there. And Bowyer with a shot! Oh! And look at those two on the floor there, smiling all over their face, because somehow, and that luck didn't go Peter Shilton's way, somehow that ball was snuggled under the body of Paul Bradshaw when Ian Bowyer shot, and they sat on it. Can't recall a great deal of problem. One little stoppage for injury when Trevor Francis went down in the second half, but there can't be a lot left. Now Frank Gray. Here's John Robertson. Are we going to see one last burst from him? Played in there towards O'Neill, and it might come yet. No, Wolves still got that one away. Richards then playing it straight back to O'Neill. Now Robertson. Wolves still hanging on. Bradshaw with the catch above the bodies of Burns and Needham. And Emlyn Hughes knows that Wolves are almost there. We're in the final minute. On the Wolves bench, they're already saying that time is up, just to urge their team into one last effort to make absolutely sure. But there are still a few seconds yet, as Anderson takes it up again for Wolves. Francis away on the right touchline for Forest. And a throw to Forest. Wolves have brought everybody back now. Forest have pushed everybody except their fullback Frank Gray forward. Anderson. Francis. Needham tried to get the shot in, and a corner given. And this surely is going to be the last chance. We're into injury time. A place in Europe awaits Wolves if they can keep this corner out. And it comes to McGovern. Played wide for Robertson. The little dink cross in there, and it'll come to McGovern again. But the ball just squelched away from him. Well into injury time now. And still Forest are coming forward, hoping to get this equaliser. The referee's looking at his watch. Wolves have done it. They hug each other on the Wolves bench. Richie Barker and John Barnwell, they're hugging each other all over the floor there. Emlyn Hughes with a smile on his face. Look at the Berry and Hughes there. And Andy Gray's goal is the one that's decided it all. And at last, the Football League Cup final win for Emlyn Hughes. Andy Gray, the scorer. Look at the delight on those Wolves' faces. What a great game it is at a moment like this. Wolves the winners. Mel Eaves there. Emlyn Hughes going across to have a word with Peter Shilton, his old England buddy. That there's a future for Emlyn Hughes when he could no longer command a regular place at Liverpool. That's also paid off, because Emlyn kept things going on a steady old basis at the back there. And he's having a struggle getting up there. He's almost being strangled by Wolves scarves. And I would think, well, I'm wondering what they're thinking. They've got to lift their team again for a European Cup tie on Wednesday night. And Emlyn Hughes, a winner so often with Liverpool, now with that beautiful broad smile, is a winner with Wolverhampton. And Wolves are back in business. But Mr. Marshall, the Wolves chairman, well, he's won everything else. Why not the Football League Cup winners' medal as well?